Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar today on summer programs for summer 2013 in Germany. My name is Leslie Harrelson, and I run the West Coast office of the DAD. I am in San Francisco, sit inside the Goethe Institute here, and represent DAD for the western half of the U.S. And I am delighted that all of you could join us today for this webinar, and we are especially thrilled to have two special guests. In addition to myself and my colleague Jane Fu, who is the information guru in the New York office, we also have two German university liaison offices that also sit in our big office in New York City, and that is Steffi Grupp-Klasby from the University of Cologne, and then Andrea Adam-Moore from the German University Alliance, and you will hear from them shortly as well. On your screen you can see how our webinar is going to work today. We'll start with DAD, move on to University of Cologne and German University Alliance, and then we're going to end with question and answer. And that's something that we really like about this webinar format, is that it allows you to get your specific questions answered. And for those of you that have not participated in one of our webinars before, this slide just shows you the control panel that you should also see something that looks like this on the side of your screen. And this is how you communicate with us and participate in the webinar. So the attendees list we have hidden because it's a long list and it can be distracting. The grab tab, letter B right here, this allows you to minimize and maximize the size of your control panel. So if it's taking up too much of your screen, you can just go ahead and click on these arrows and that will minimize the size of your control panel. The audio pane here shows how you listen to the webinar today. Most of you, it looks like, all of you are listening via your computer. Nobody's dialed in. But if you anytime lose your audio, you can just go ahead and toggle between these two radio buttons, and oftentimes that resets the audio. We would love for you to submit your questions as the webinar goes along, and you can do that in this box here. You just type in your question where it says yes, click send, and that will come straight to me, and I will be ready to moderate the Q&A after everyone has given their presentation. So feel free at any time to shoot a question. If your question ends up being answered before we even get to the Q&A, great, but please don't hesitate to send in any question that you may have. The Q&A at the end is always our favorite part of the webinar. So with that, I'm going, before passing it on to my colleague in New York, I'm going to start with a brief poll. And I want to find out from all of you what you are, so who you are. We just want to get a sense of our audience today. Are you a study abroad advisor, a career or internship advisor, faculty administrator, fellowships advisor, or a student? If you could just go ahead and submit that, it really helps us to know who we're talking to. So it looks like a little over half of you have voted. If the rest of you want to click there on the screen and let us know who you are. So far it's coming in pretty spread across the map, with 33% of you are study abroad advisors, 25% faculty administrators, 25% fellowship advisors, and 17% students. So it's a little bit of everything except for the career and internship folks. And then I also want to ask you all quickly what you're most interested in Germany. Are you most interested in interning, in studying, in researching, working, or in anything? So if you can please submit what you're most interested in. We'd love to get a sense of where everyone's interests lie. So it looks like a lot of you are interested in anything and everything in Germany, followed by studying and then researching. So it looks like we have some Germany enthusiasts, which is what we like to hear and like to see. So thank you so much for submitting that. 71% of you are interested in anything. So thank you very much. And with that, I am going to pass the mic and the
unmuted
control to my colleague Jane Fu, who is in the New York office. Jane, are you there?
Hi, I'm here, and we are survivors of Sandy.
Great.
Happy to say. So this is I'm in the DAD New York office, and between the three of us, New York, Toronto, and San Francisco, we're doing the programs for all of North America. And so primarily this is for students, American students and Canadian students, as well as faculty. International students that are at the American and Canadian universities are included in our programs as well. So if we have a few students out there or listeners out there who are from different countries and just tuning in to get some general information about DAAD, some of these programs are going to be specific to North American students. Some of these programs will transfer internationally, and so my best information or my best advice is to see if there's a DAAD office in your country, and they'll tell you exactly what summer programs are out there that are available directly to you. There may be things that we don't get at all in the North American region that are in your countries. So I will start by giving you a little bit of an overview about what DAAD is. We are the Deutscher Akademischer Austauschdienst, which means German Academic Exchange Service in English. Strangely enough, we never go by the acronym GAECS. We're always DAAD. How we fit in with the whole picture is that we're the German National Agency for International Higher Education Affairs, and so we handle the scholarships for students who are outbound as well as inbound students and their concerns. We do a lot of institutional relationships and such, as well as professional development and just all sorts of things at the higher education level between Germany and all of the countries. Our biggest vehicle is the student scholarships, which you're going to hear a lot more about from me. To give you a scope of and a picture of that, we are the largest international education organization in the world, which means we have the most money for it, we fund the most students, and we give out the most scholarships. We also fund professors. You might have a DAAD professor on your campus, conferences in German studies and various other fields. Also, we give some funding to some German departments to do other activities, and then all fields. We're not just German studies, we're everything. Our headquarters is located in Bonn, and today is, somebody reminded me today, the fall of the wall. And so 23 years ago, the German capital was Bonn, and now it's Berlin. But our offices remained in Bonn. And so what they call the Wissenschaftsecke, where all of the higher education and research institutions are sort of centered in Germany. The main office for North America is DAAD New York. We handle all the programs for 2,200 outbound American students, American and Canadian students, and 4,900 inbound Germans. So these are Germans that are at various schools in the United States and Canada too. And supporting us are our two information bureaus, one in San Francisco headed by Leslie, who's our host today, and Toronto. We have two staff there based at the University of Toronto, but they're not just for the Toronto students, they're for everyone in Canada. Probably, the first thing that you think about when you want to go to summer in Germany is say, hey, German language course, right? And that we have something called the University Summer Course Grant, and it is a grant for a 1-month summer language class at a German university. There is a prerequisite of 2 years of college-level German or the equivalent. We don't fund beginner levels. And so, but the bonus on that is that you get to make the choice of which destination you want to go to, which German university, which location, and exactly which course you want to take. As long as it's a course that's German language based, because that's the real sort of underlying purpose of this program, it might be eligible for funding under this summer course grant. We cover all of the course fees. We cover the room and board there. We give you a small stipend for travel. And health insurance is usually covered in most of our grants too. I see that I didn't put health insurance on there. You do kind of have to plan early, so right before Christmas vacation, think about it. Submitting your application if you're thinking about summer in Germany. This is the best program for all of the German majors out there. Go and apply for this. It's great. It's open to sophomores, juniors, seniors, and graduate degree students. You do have to be enrolled, so graduates are not quite eligible for this. You have to be in school right now. But there are so many courses out there. You get to choose your own that are available. sort of the counter program to this is the intensive language course in Germany. This one is restricted to graduate students only, so master's degree students, PhD students. It is an 8-week intensive language course. So intensive is sort of the level at which you're going to have class contact. And there's work involved, and it's at one of the leading institutes in Germany. So unlike the summer language course grant, it's not at a university. It's at a Goethe Institute or Speak and Write. Interdorf Leipzig, I think, is a participant, as well as the Karl Duisburg Zentren. And again, you have to be a graduate student. And you cannot be in German studies, though. This is the trick to this one. We don't want you to be majoring or getting your degree in a modern language field, especially German studies, not literature, not German translation, or interpretation. So it's got to be somebody who's not in German studies. History students. We have a lot of philosophy students that take up this grant. And the prerequisite is 3 semesters of college-level German. Same as the undergraduate university summer course grant. We cover the course fees. We cover the living expenses. We have a health insurance and a small allowance for travel. December 15th, same deadline date. This one, I'm happy to say, just got reinstated. This is the summer language program for faculty members. So anybody, as long as you're not a German faculty member, you're eligible to apply for this funding. Say you're going to be in Germany doing some research. You could use a little bit of a boost to help you go on to do your research in an archive or something. This is the language grant for you. It's 1 month. It's at a Goethe Institute location in Germany. I believe you do have the choice to choose your own, which Goethe Institute location you want. We cover the course fees. We cover partial room and partial board and health insurance. The lump sum is 1,800 euros for that 1 month. The deadline you have a little bit more time on, January 31st. Tons and tons of internship programs. Mostly we have this really great one that I'll tell you about later, but this one is probably our most prestigious internship program. You do have to plan quite a bit in advance, and so I'm afraid this coming summer it's over, but if you're in German studies or in political science, this is something to think about. Next September, this is an annual program, so next September 15th we have another deadline coming up for the MGIP Bundestag. It is an internship where you actually become an assistant to one of the parliament members in Germany, in Berlin. You'll participate on boards or committees that are related to your interests. So we're going to pair you with a particular parliament member that has something that you specify is in your interest. The duration is 2 months, and we do ask for students that have strong German skills. Our funnest one or most popular one is the RISE, Research Internship in Science and Engineering. What we do is we place undergraduate students in sort of in a research internship at a lab, university-based lab in Germany. We pair you with a PhD student mentor, and you just do a research summer there. Let me start over. We do this in a matching process, and so in December, watch on our website. The listings for the actual internship offers are going to go up. There will be highly detailed descriptions of what the type of research is being done, what fields, what type of students, what qualifications, what kind of background they're looking for, what kind of coursework you should have done before applying for this internship. So the PhD students who are going to be your hosts choose their top 3 choices. You choose your top 3 choices as destinations, and we put it through the mill and pair you off. The majority of the students will get a scholarship, 650 euros per month, with health insurance, some travel. Students who don't have any German language skills at all, because this internship doesn't require any German, might be eligible for a pre-internship German language course. We give that one to you as a gift on top of your internship, just to help you with the getting around town when you're living in Germany for the summer. And it's a really, really good program. I think we had about 300 students do this last summer. About 700, I believe, 700 to 1,000 apply. And so, you know, the anecdote is that Germany's swimming with RISE interns during the summer. We have something for the seniors and the graduate students as well. It's called RISE Professional, which puts you in a slightly more stringent research institution at a corporation. I think we've worked with BASF. We've worked with some of the pharmaceutical firms. We've worked with some of the automotive suppliers and automotive firms as well. And you can imagine which kind of corporations are doing R&D and offering such positions for interns to come into their organization. It's a really good stepping stone for those who might be thinking about doing a career in Germany. And it's 1.5 to 6 months, and so you could do it for a summer, you could do it for almost an entire semester. The scholarship range is 650 to 1,000 euro per month, and it's a shared arrangement. We pay part of it, the host corporation pays part of it. You get the same benefits as with all the other DAD scholarships though. You get health insurance, you get travel, there might be a pre-internship German course. The difference in Another one of the main differences in RISE Professional versus RISE is that some of the positions will require you to be able to speak German. Some of them don't, some of them do. That deadline is January 31st as well, and the process to place students is the same as with RISE. You submit your CV online, check our website for the database of listings going up in December, and we match you with a potential host. We have a few programs that are pure. Oh,
Jane, can I just jump in here with an eye on the time?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go through this one quickly. Okay, research and development. We have the German Studies Research Grant. It's a lump sum for German German majors. We have the research visit grant for faculty. This is also just a 1 to 3 month grant for faculty. A summer seminar in German studies. This is something for PhD students. We host a seminar at the University of Chicago where Eric L. Sandner, who is a very one of the modern German studies luminaries, is going to talk about political economy and libidinal economy in German culture and thought. You can read the entire description on our website. It's really interesting. There is a course fee for that, and some grants are awarded. This is specifically for faculty. We also have Germany Today. Germany Today is our VRP tour. We take faculty, we take advisors, we take anybody who's involved in the whole higher education game on a professional level, and we take them through a tour of the German university landscape. The biggest question is, where do you go? 391 higher education institutions, the Bundestag in Berlin, the German language schools, University of Chicago, and any one of these any one of the national research institutions. Those are potential destinations for summer programs via DAAD. And here are some of the links that you can use. Everything is linkable from our website, so if you can't quite get to this one, you don't have enough time to write down everything, this presentation will be posted on our website where you can download my presentation as well as the entire audio of this webinar as well. And then all of the program offerings are also, you can find the application deadlines on the website. And there's my contact information if you need to reach me later. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jane. I'm sorry to blow you through the last part of that.
That's okay.
Just want to make sure our special guests get their thank you. So thank you
great.
so much. It's a lot of information, but as Jane said, it will be posted online, and I'll be sending a follow-up email to all of you that have attended with the link to the website. So thank you very much, Jane, for covering all of that. And now we are going to move to Stephanie, representing the University of Cologne. Hi, Steffi. Are you there?
Hi, Leslie. Thank you so much.
Great.
Thanks for having us today. We are the University of Cologne, New York office. We have been here for 2 years now, precisely. And our role is to connect U.S. and Canadian faculty members, students, and potential visitors to Cologne by advising on offerings that are available in Cologne to North American students, faculty, and the like. Today I'll cover only a very small part of the offerings. That's the summer offerings, with the exception of one winter school. A new website will be launched in a few weeks by my colleague in Cologne. She really is the authority on summer offerings, but I'm here today to give you a short and somewhat superficial overview of what is out there. So maybe you know Cologne for its cathedral, maybe you've visited, it's on the river of the Rhine. It has been a very important trading town. It's built upon Roman foundations. In fact, the cathedral rests upon a Roman monument. So nothing new about this town. In fact, our university was founded in 1388. It's the second oldest after Heidelberg in the country. And our university has been open for all this time. In all these years, the university has evolved as a research institution that is particularly strong in management and supply chain management. Because of that, the CISP Summer School in European Management seeks to attract your very best students, or you as a student, should you be in a US or Canadian business school, or should you be a faculty member at a related department. I highly recommend this program. The deadline to apply for this program is March 15th, and it lasts from June 3rd to June 28th. My colleagues in the China office run a program open to students worldwide. That's the Cologne China Summer School, and it's an area study summer school curated by faculty at the University of Cologne. Along the same lines, we have an India summer school. It usually takes place in Pondicherry, where we also have an office, and again, that has a strong area studies and business studies component. Here's something that I'm really passionate about, and that's the CEDIS Summer School in Diversity Studies. It's the only summer school of this kind in Germany, and a new Center of Diversity Studies was just opened and inaugurated this summer in Cologne. Cologne has a very strong history in studying physical disabilities and how to aid physical disability through physical education. And as a site of teacher training, Cologne happens to be the largest school of education in Europe, and offers a wonderful critical mass of professors working in the field of education, K through 12, but also higher education studies. German studies has been mentioned by you, dear Jane, earlier on. Of course, Cologne is offering a summer program on German history and culture, and has a special feature in that it offers German as a second language. To those of you, or those of your clients, if you're advisors, that teach German on your campus, in your institution, to learners for who German is a second language. So that's a wonderful offering if you want to offer your faculty members or doctoral candidates in your Germanic department, the language study program, kind of cutting-edge experience on pedagogy and language learning in a second language environment. I'm going to skip over the winter school. The summer school for Cologne alumni is probably going to be a very small subset. If you happen to be an alumnus or an alumna of ours, I welcome you to reach out to me and leave your name and contact info with me. We're also here to connect Cologne alumni, even non-degree holding alumni, just short-term visitors here in New York, and we gather you all in events. We would like to learn about what you're doing and would like to learn whether you'd be interested in coming to our alumni summer school, which includes housing and meals. And for those of you who are in the earlier stages of your career, there are even travel grants available of up to 500 euro to cover literally virtually all your costs of spending some time in Cologne and catching up on what's new at our institution. Finally, I'd like to conclude with an offering that we, the New York office here, put together with the Faculty of Management, Business and Social Sciences. My dear colleague Xenia Elbrechter runs the program. It is the first summer school that we're offering here in North America, and this upcoming summer it will run August 4th through September 13th. And we will be excited to host your students as part of the summer school. In the past 2 years, we had 30 students participate. There's a small cost for students to enroll in these 3 modules, the intensive summer programs. So think of them as a summer school intensive class while being able to meet a bunch of Cologne students and brushing up on your German if that's something that you or your students are inclined to do. There are other offerings in the early planning stages. Given our shortage of time, I'll just briefly mention what those are. There are more plans to have summer schools in the US, one along the lines of human sciences, again, higher education, education, special ed, and pedagogy. The most feasible for next summer seems to be a law faculty-run program in Cologne. Check back with our new website that will be up and running in January. There will be probably a law school focus in next year's summer school, and my colleague in Cologne will know more about that in next week's. Finally, for those of you who are a partner institution of the University of Cologne, such as Berkeley, there's a special option. If you want to send students to our campus for summer or winter schools, this can be done with special conditions that are particularly attractive. If you would like to see whether you're unsure whether your institution happens to be a partner of ours, go to the link that's posted as part of this slide, and you can check whether we have a standing cooperation, be it on the department to department or the entire university level. There's a wonderful tool on our website that allows you to search these university collaborations, and this example shows how Berkeley has been a long-time official partner of Cologne, particularly the law school in Berkeley. And in the menu down here, you see you can check these drop-down boxes, and you would enter United States or Canada and then search by the faculty you're most interested in. Finally, I would be delighted to hear from you, whether by phone or email. We'd love to hear if there's anything missing. Any feedback is appreciated. Most offerings are very low cost and high quality offerings, and to our partner institutions, they're even free of charge. It's a wonderful option to send your students abroad, and if you have any questions, feel free to call me or my colleague Christiane Wille. They're happy to advise your students one-on-one. That's what we're here for. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Steffi. I really appreciate it, and it's, for me, great to hear everything that Cologne offers as well. I work closely with all of you, but yet don't know all the details. So it's great to see. And with that, we are passing the mic and the presentation over to another German university representative, and that is Andrea Adam Moore. Hello, Andrea.
Hello, Leslie.
Take it away.
Okay, so my name is Andrea Adam Moore. I work for the Freie Universität in Berlin and the University of Munich. two of the biggest research institutions in Germany. And what we offer for international students are summer universities, summer programs, semester and year abroad programs, exchange programs with our partner institutions, and also, of course, degree programs on the undergraduate and graduate level, which I'm happy to talk at any given time to all of you. But today, of course, I will focus on our offerings in the summer. I'll start with the University of Munich, Ludwig-Maximilians-Universität München, and then later on talk about the programs in Berlin. So for those of you who don't know Munich, LMU is situated in the heart of the city. Munich is wonderful. I find it wonderful. I'm from Berlin, but I love to go to Munich all the time. It's a beautiful city with lots of historic buildings. It is very close to the Alps, so on a nice day you can even see the mountains right from the city center. It has beautiful old buildings, but also a lot of new architecture. It is a great area for studying and doing research. It has two big universities, Technical University and LMU, and many other non-university research institutions. It's famous, of course, for the Oktoberfest, which is actually called Wiesn in German. So if you happen to be there in September, don't say Oktoberfest, you'll out yourself as a tourist. But it's a very creative and fun city to be in. I thought I'd show you some pictures that just so that you get an also a visual impression of the city. This is the city hall in the center, and here we see one of the churches that I mentioned. The Englischer Garten is one of my favorite things about Munich. It's right in the middle of the city. It's a huge park. People run, jog, walk, hang out, play ball games there. There's the river, the Isar, runs through the garden. It's a beautiful park, and it's right across from the university. So great place to be, especially in the summer.
Andrea, is that where people also streak, or am I?
Very inappropriate.
Leave it to me. Inappropriate question. Anyway, I did want to say I love these pictures, Andrea, because you really show what a wonderful place Germany is to be in the summer, with everybody being outside.
All summer pictures. And here you actually can see these the mountains in the background of the city. Just a few images to give you an impression of what the university looks like, and you can go through these a bit more when you go back to our presentation later. So what does LMU offer for students in the summer? LMU has created Munich International Summer University, and that is comprised of what they call the summer academies and also then the German language classes. Our summer academies cover really a wide area of range of topics, and they are all taught by LMU faculty. They are some of them are on the graduate student level, some on the undergraduate, some require some knowledge in the field, and I'll go through them very briefly in a second. Besides the academic program, we of course invite students to take part in the really great cultural program. There's a weekend trip. Usually students go to Berlin for a weekend. Of course, we have a city tour in Munich, summer barbecue parties, etc. And of course, we arrange housing for our visiting students. So these are the courses that will be offered next summer. The ones that I marked in blue here are those that are a little bit more open in terms of what is required in terms of prior knowledge. So of course, first we have the summer language classes. They run in August. They're just over 3 weeks long at all kinds of different levels, like from no knowledge before up to actually business German, so for which you would already be pretty fluent in German, and also German test training programs. Before I go on, one remark, the costs for our programs vary greatly depending on which program it is. Some of these programs are 12 weeks long, some are 3 weeks long, so I would refer to the website for very detailed information. They are all a great value that I can promise, and for a lot of them we also offer scholarships and for students from partner universities, tuition waivers. So the next program that's, that I want to mention is occupational health. This, as I said, is one of the programs that actually has some prerequisites. You have to be a student or a young professional in the field to be able to take part in this program. It's a 3-week program that, for example, would give students 9 ECTS points, usually 4.5 US credits. The next program is the German and European Law program. Again, a program that requires that students have at least 1 year of legal training at the university level or are young lawyers. 3 weeks program. Here again. Oops, too fast. International law, same idea here. We are looking for advanced students of law or in international relations or young professionals for this program. It's a 2-week program in international law. The next 2 programs are summer research programs, pretty much like the RISE program that Jane mentioned in her presentation. Here students, there's one program in life sciences and one in nanoscience, and here students will work with graduate students, PhD students in the labs. They will be able to work with cutting-edge equipment there, and will have a great research experience. These 2 programs are completely funded. They run for 6 weeks in the summer. The next program I want to mention is the course on German sources and archives of Holocaust history. Again, a program for students who have knowledge in that field. 6 weeks in the summer, and no fees for the program except for optional German language course. Electronic media is a course for business students, students in communication science, informatics, or management. A great course that is runs for 9 weeks in the summer. It's classroom and also an internship in a German media. Yeah. So the last 2 programs, very quickly, are 2 that actually take you beyond Munich. We have a European Studies program. I would say, I would very much recommend it for international relations students, political science students, but it's open for a wider range of students, and it takes students to Munich, Prague, and Vienna to study European integration. And last but not least, our brand new European Environmental Studies program. It's a humanities and natural science approach to environmental change. Students will study in Berlin, Vienna, and Munich. They will do a lot of site visits to green energy plants. There will be lectures from all kinds of different experts in the field. Very, very much want to recommend this program. All these courses are between June and September. They are taught in English, and the deadlines for application vary greatly. I would really recommend to look at the specific program. The earliest is February 1st, and the last is in June. So quickly moving over to Berlin. Most of you probably know Berlin a bit better or have heard about it. It's probably the most vibrant city in Europe right now. It's really creative. It's multinational. It's big, and it's green, and it's bustling. It's also a great place for research and studying. It has 3 universities, a lot of little colleges, and other research institutions. Here again, some pictures in the theme of the day: a Trabi, an East German car coming through the wall 23 years ago. Well, not literally, but that's the image of it. Here, some like night scene, the new center of Berlin, Potsdamer Platz, the Spree River, and some of that funky architecture there and sculptures, just to give you a little idea. The campus of Freie Universität, where the FUBIS, the summer university, is in the southwest of the city, very green. And here we go. FUBIS is the Freie Universität Berlin International Summer University. It is an intensive academic program that we offer about 45 different courses every summer. We have a 4-week and a 6-week term you can choose from. We have subject courses that are taught in English, and then we have intensive or semi-intensive German language courses, taught in German, of course, The nice thing is you can combine a semi-intensive German course with the subject course for those who are interested. What I love about FUBIS is that it really makes use of the vast resources Berlin has to offer, the architecture, museums, cultural, all these institutions. You'll spend some time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time exploring Berlin as part of your classes. We offer very small classes, 15 to 18 students max. All courses will give you ECTS credits, about 6 to 12 in 6 weeks, or 4 to 8 in 4 weeks, and of course a transcript. We arrange housing for students. The students can choose between homestays or stay in a hotel or in a dorm. FUBIS is a very international institution. We have students from more than 50 countries every year. And here again, please consult our website. The application deadlines for next year. We also have a winter term in January, but we wanted to focus on the summer here today, so you can find them there. And please go ahead, contact me with any questions you have, and I'm happy to discuss that via email or phone. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Andrea, for that great overview of two very well-known and very different universities in two very different parts of the country. And I have to say it makes me want to find a way to get there this summer as well.
Unmuted.
For that, I am going to unmute my colleagues, and we are going to move into the Q&A part. Okay. And the first question, actually, I'm going to direct at, I guess, Andrea addressed this a little bit, but maybe we can start with Steffi, and that is with academic credit. A very common question is, do you get credit for these summer courses, and how does that work? So, Steffi, I don't know, can you start with that?
Sure, that's a good question and a concern of many students as they embark on this adventure or consider it. It is ironed out between our partner institutions, particularly in the management CISP program. It is up to the institution, the home institution, in all other cases.
So, but do they get some sort of transcript showing that they had
Absolutely.
certain, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there will be a document, some will be graded, others will be just pass only, and then as often the student has to then see how it can fit into his or her credit point needs on the US or Canadian side.
Great. And Andrea, I don't know, is there anything you want to add?
We've had a lot of experience with students, especially in FUBIS. I don't know if some of you might have seen it. The program is accredited by it's not really accredited, but like the Forum on Education Abroad has done its quality survey on the program, and basically what it means is that this program runs according to American expectations. It's a solid program. We have all our syllabi online, so you can go with these syllabi to faculty and show them and ask if this would be transferable. We will give you a transcript that's graded with the number of ECTS point and contact hours and all that information that's important. But that is, of course, then, as Steffi said, your faculty who has to approve the transfer. And that's the same for the University of Munich. All the courses that I talked about give credits, and on the website you'll find the exact number of credits.
Great. Thanks so much, both of you. The next question for Jane. Jane, can you give any tips on what makes a successful application? And I know you covered a lot of different types of grants, so if there's any way you can be specific while being general.
Okay. All of our scholarships are really based on
Jane? I seem to have lost audio.
Yeah, I think we lost her.
Oh, okay. Jane, we seem to have lost you. But Andrea and Steffi, you're there. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Jane, I don't know if you can toggle with your audio buttons there, but we can't hear you. So I guess I can jump in and answer my own question, or the question that I asked to Jane regarding tips for success. And as Jane was starting to say, having a successful application is often tied to merit. So academic merit, GPA does play a large role, but also being able to very articulately say why it is that you want to do that specific program in Germany, whether it's a summer language course because you want to do archival research that necessitates having that language skill, whether it's you want to do the RISE program and you really think that having hands-on experience researching an international lab will prepare you for graduate school. Whatever your rationale is, it should be very specific and focusing less on just general notions of international collaboration, international understanding, and instead being very specific about why this specific program is the next logical step in your career path or in your academic path. And the more focused your application, the better. Oh, Jane?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yay!
Oh, good. Okay, I
Okay.
was going to dial in. So, okay. Yeah, I agree with Leslie.
Okay. It's a way to just jump in there and change headsets and whatever happened. Anything you'd like to add there?
Yeah, I think Leslie got it. It's mostly the academic merit, and as well as especially in the RISE program, that your background fits with what they're asking for. So she summed it up. She's got it.
Okay. Okay, great. And I want to ask the audience too, if you want to submit any more questions, to do so right now via the chat functionality on the control panel. And I'll give a second for any more questions to come in. Otherwise, I don't know, Steffi or Andrea, is there anything else you'd like to add? Maybe also about the application processes for your various programs?
Sure, I could certainly talk about that because it's actually, for me, it would be important to point out that it's quite different between FUBIS and the offerings in Munich. In FUBIS, it is less an application, as much more a registration process. So it's, there's no requirements in terms of the GPA. Of course, we have some requirements in terms of age, and but it's not an application per se. Whereas in the Munich case, some of these summer programs really do have, I kind of touched on it a little bit before, they are, first of all, addressing a very specific target group, and then there's also, because we have scholarships and they're basically for free for the attendance, we have more applications than we have seats in the program. So there, of course, we will look at, is the background fitting, are the academic requirements met, and then we will make a merit-based decision.
Great. Thanks, Andrea. Steffi, anything from your end?
I can only subscribe to what Andrea said. The same is true of the University of Cologne. Just one minor footnote that in some cases, then a program is very, very popular, preferential treatment will be given to the most highly performing student and or a partner institution.
Great. Okay. Thank you. There's actually a question here for Jane about the RISE internship, and that is, do you have any tips on choosing an internship that's appropriate to the experience level, so not applying to one that's too advanced or requires too many prerequisites?
The profiles that that the hosts post are really detailed, and so it's probably you're going to be the best judge as to whether you're a good fit or not a good fit for that program. They're asking for, there are going to be programs in all fields of, chemical engineering, biology, technology, and, naturally you'll know whether you fit, this technical requirement or whether you can do this thing or not. Whether you, and in terms of whether it's, you think it's a social fit or not, or choosing a school, it's kind of up to you. We have these internships that are going to be based at almost all of the universities in Germany, and you select which schools you think, which schools will have, which region you want to go to, which school has the field that you want to learn about or you want to do, where you think you can offer the most contribution in that research project. So it's really, it's going to be an individual decision.
Thanks, Jane. And I actually just wanted to jump in on something else there. And that is a question I get very often about location, and that's something I think it's especially telling when Andrea mentioned Berlin and Munich. Those are the universities she represents, and those are, I would say, the two most well-known cities in Germany. And a lot of students that don't have a lot of experience with Germany want to go to a place that's familiar, so they would choose RISE internship positions in those two cities, and those are often the most applied to positions. So not only are you competing for one of the 300 scholarships, but you're also competing for that internship position. So then I would encourage students that aren't necessarily tied to those cities for whatever reason to consider other programs for the RISE program. And just because there's great research internships in other cities that students might not be quite as familiar with. So for RISE, that is one of just a little tip. And I actually want to pass it over to Andrea to mention something about visas, because that's a question we get a lot as well. Andrea?
Right, and that actually, talking about locations, and even if you, and I hope you decide to come to Berlin or Munich, I'm sure you want to see more of Germany than just these two cities, and being busy studying there and like the arranged weekend trips, you might want to travel before or after the summer program, wherever you will do that. So for North American students, you can actually enter Germany without any visa for 90 days. So you can spend 3 months in Germany just entering on the visa waiver. You can do your summer program in that time, but then you can also stay and travel in Europe or in Germany. So I would really encourage to, when you do the planning for your summer stay in Germany, to book the flight. It's not just 2 days before the course starts, or and going back the next day, if you can, of course, that is, and really explore the country. It's a great place to be. I think especially in the summer. Go up to I love the Baltic Sea, but we have the North Sea too, and we have the mountains in the south. So there's so many places in Germany to see. So I really encourage you to make it a longer stay than 4 or 6 weeks.
Great point, Andrea. The German Tourist Bureau should also hire you. That's absolutely great point. And one of the advantages to being a student in Germany, too, is you get a lot of discounts, and that includes discounts on rail travel, local and within Germany and within Europe. So that's something to take advantage of as a student as well. So with that, I think we are going to close. I just want to remind everybody we will be posting the PowerPoint presentations on, actually we have another question coming in, but we will be posting the PowerPoint presentations on the website, and I'll be sending a follow-up email to everyone that attended today with a direct link to our website where you can download those presentations, as well as a recording from today's webinar and past webinars, so you can watch it again yourself or share it with any of your friends or colleagues that weren't able to join today. And I want to then actually, Andrea, if you want to briefly address this question, is about the academic calendar. So can you explain a little bit of how that works in Germany? So some students
Sure.
Only can either enroll for the academic year or the spring semester.
Sure. So in almost all German universities, our winter semester, our first semester of an academic year, starts in mid-October and it runs through mid-February. And then we have a roughly 2-month break, and then we have the summer semester, the summer term, that runs from mid-April to mid-July. And then we have this 3 months break when most of the summer courses take place. So when students come to study for a semester in Germany, we usually see students come for the summer term, because that is only taking one of their American terms away, while the German winter semester would actually go from the American fall, winter semester or quarter into the spring, and you would only do one semester and 2 semesters on your American calendar. With the summer programs, just speaking for the Berlin case, if you want to come to a German university and actually meet German students on campus, I would very much recommend to come to FUBIS in the 6-week term that starts in late May and runs through early mid-July, because that's actually the time when students are still on campus. So you will actually have that feeling of a big university campus. If you go to a German university in August, it will be, we'll have a lot of international students and those who study for, maybe or write their papers, but it won't be regular university, courses going on. So that's maybe an advice if you want to have that campus feeling with a lot of students. And then also just the last remark to that is that we also see students coming, exchange students who come study in Berlin or Munich for a year, and we do offer a language prep course 6 weeks before the start of the semester, so it would start in September. We see some of these students also come for a summer course before they start the language prep and then the semester, so they really make it a full year.
Great, Andrea, thank you. And I think you make a really good point too. The difference, a little bit of this is how we define semesters. So the American spring semester falls within the German summer semester. What the Germans call what we call spring semester, they call it summer semester. So it isn't summer school, it's their spring semester, which Andrea mentioned, their summer semester syncs up best with our spring semester. And the advantage to studying for example, that FUBIS program is that you overlap with when the German students are active in session. So it can be a little confusing with the calendars that aren't quite synced, but absolutely there's ways to make it work really well and get a feeling that you're integrated with the actual university students. So with that, I guess I'll start with Steffi, and then Jane and Andrea if you have any last words, and then we will close for today.
Just a final comment on the universities along the Rhine. They're wonderfully suited to give your students access to Brussels as well. If you have students in European studies who are also interested in visiting Brussels, that's very close to Cologne, just a short ride on the train. Quick access to France on a fast train that takes 2.5 hours from Cologne. So Cologne is very much oriented towards France and Brussels. In fact, it's a quicker ride to Brussels and Paris than it is to Berlin. So geographically and also kind of psychologically, traditionally Cologne has had a very different kind of neighborhood feeling and is now in the heart of the European Union, and as such wonderfully suited to equip your students of European studies or political science with a wonderful summer experience.
Great, thanks, Steffi. Jane, any final words?
Yeah, I wanted to just add on to what Andrea and Steffi said, and Germany really is a fun place to be during the summer. There's so many summer festivals, especially in Munich, Berlin, and Cologne. And I think the most important thing, the regret that I get for summer study wishers is that they haven't planned early enough. So before you go on that winter holiday break, start thinking about applying to the summer programs, because just prior to then is when a lot of the deadlines start. So that's my final statement. If you have any questions, call us at any time or email us. All of us have really good websites and we always try to answer very quickly. You'll be communicating with either one of the three of us directly.
Great. And Andrea?
Just thank you for your attention, and I'm really looking forward to hearing from some of our listeners today.
Great. Thank you very much, Andrea. Thank you very much, Steffi and Jane, my colleague there in New York. Thanks to all of you, and wishing everybody a wonderful weekend. Thanks of those of you for attending and for your questions, and we hope to see you and your students in Germany. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
The organizer.